and I learned a lot from him, and Dr. Kim also. And I could see a possibility of doing together both countries for development, which makes the society sustainable. New Village Movement in Korea is a movement which has made Korea today. 60 years ago, South Korea was one of the poorest countries, which was even compared to the poorest countries in Africa at that time. Now Korea joined the OECD club. That is the club of developed countries. Up till late 1970, South Korea received aid, but now we do not receive aid, but we give aid. And we are paying back the blessings that we have received. I'm so proud of the country that I'm from, because I see the clear signs of transformation that could be replicated in other countries. Now, I'm a vice chancellor of Kumi University in Uganda. That is one of the initiatives that Korean people do, because we want to pay back the blessings that we have received to the countries which are behind, but obviously will become a developed and prosperous country. I learned about India development, whose development model is connectivity driven. I know Dr. Abdul Kalam was called as the president of connectivity, and that thing I learned. Now, I also learned very significant lessons from my longtime friend, Mr. Ravinder Sachdev, who started a Come Clean India campaign. In fact, the New Village Movement was based upon Clean Korea movement. Now, what's outside is the expression of what's inside. So, Clean Korea was so important because when we become clean, the outer world, that's the expression of what's inside of us. That means if we clean our minds, then we can have a clear mindset, which makes science and technology important, because for the development of society, we need to see the importance of law and order. You know, we should know how to organize our mind in a very clear way. So, New Village Movement was foundationally based upon Clean Korea movement. And now, Clean India movement is so inspiring. I'm learning a lot from my friend, Mr. Ravinder, and his colleagues. And now, Honorable Patrick Okave declared a few minutes ago that he wants to start Clean Uganda campaign in the parliament and overall society. I see an emerging value coalition, especially among those three countries: South Korea in the Far East, and India in South Asia, and Uganda in East Africa. I see the value coalition around the Clean India movement to emerge, and that is a clean diplomacy. I see Mr. Ravinder and his colleagues is actually doing diplomacy, and that is a clean diplomacy around the theme clean society. India has a very good model of development, and Jugaad, the idea of Jugaad is a very exciting idea that I want to apply to Korea and to East Africa too. So Mr. Robindar is now thinking to plant Center of Jugaad, not only in India, but also in South Korea, North Korea, and Uganda and East African countries. I believe that clean idea concept, clean India concept, and also House of Jugaad could be a two very exciting and inspiring concepts that can make impact upon the nations. So India has a lot to give. Likewise, South Korea has a lot to give. We've been transformed from the poorest to the developed. And through our long experience, we have a lot of good lessons that we can teach, and one of which is New Village Movement. I also believe there are good things that Uganda can teach to the nations. So this is time for a right diplomacy. And when we do together, we can make a great impact upon international society. I thank you so much for inviting me to this event. I'm so honored to become a part of this movement. I invite the Chief Minister of Meghalaya and other leaders to South Korea so that we can learn from each other. And as mentioned, I'd like to see the corridor of development among South Korea, India, and Uganda around the theme of Clean India movement. I believe that that's the diplomacy that we want to go for in the days to come. And thank you so much. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, David Young Lee. The reason it was so interesting to hear the talk by David Young Lee and his talk of clean diplomacy is because, you know, essentially we are a think tank on Indian foreign policy and diplomacy kind of areas, and communications and India's relations and India's image actually. So when we started, we thought that if we are good in communications, or if we try to do something in communications, let's try and do something for a cleaner India. That's, and our passion, of course, as a clean India. So that's how we came on board on this. Meanwhile, we'll run a short awards ceremony for some of our guests. Kalpana, are we ready, please? Yeah? 2 minutes, please. Okay. By the way, just to again remind you, there are flower pots at the back, contributed by the Rotary Midwest, Ankur Garg, I believe. So the pots are there for you to take and plant a sapling at home when you reach home, as such out there. And also, yes, we do have t-shirts also for all our guests who are here today. And that'll be your little takeaways from this. Just like for Power Finance Corporation, sir, we were honoring you for as a clean investor. Living in Delhi, we saw and we see that the Delhi Metro has been doing some colorification of the city. You know, at least adding some more aesthetics to the city. Of course, a lot of people are doing also, and other people are doing good things. But we reached out to the Metro and we said we would want to acknowledge you for your because our focus is on beautifying public spaces also. Or, I mean, we want to move on beyond a clean India. I mean, clean India, we should, how long can we keep on talking about a clean India? Let's clean India. Let's create a beautiful India. Otherwise, it may be like, again, as we said, Garibi Hatao, poverty. We cannot be chasing it endlessly. So we always would like to thank, you know, people, organizations who bring art and color into our public spaces. And in fact, art and color, again, partly that's why this room was added with some art and color to convey our appreciation that, you know, clean should be cool and litter should not be cool. When that, you know, mindset changes that it is not cool to litter, then I think we would have succeeded or seen a difference. I'm just waiting for my colleagues to sort out a couple of these awards. The other thing that we realize as we are doing this campaign is that the first rule of litter is litter attracts litter. You know, if you see a clean space and there are some cigarette butts or banana peels in one place, anybody walking will throw their trash at that space only. Because that kind of becomes the official space to litter. An example like we men, of course, we do, pardon the word, urinate oftentimes along walls. And there used to be a time that the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, the wall would have one area where you'll have the stink of urine, because that's where all men will go. The first one who does it. So litter attracts litter. So essentially, coming down to, you know, litter not being cool would be the you know, critical change or the tip over point in our culture for a cleaner India. Okay, yeah. So may I invite on behalf of the Delhi Metro DMRC Corporation to please, sir, accept the Ankur Garg. Right. Sorry, I'm mixing the name. Yeah. The Director of Operations, Delhi Metro. A.K. Garg. We have another colleague, Ankur Garg, and your A.K. Garg, sirs, please, please. And Honorable Patrick Okabe will honor him with this award, please. Thank you, sir, once again, and we hope this inspires you to color the city even more. You know, please take care of our city. We love it. Thank you.